This oral history project records the stories of Sudanese people who have made the Sutherland Shire their home and the people in the community who have helped them settle. Here is an overview.
When I sleeping night, the history for Sudan come in my mind. Just I dream like gun. Like yesterday night, the gun coming to when I run with my children. It's still in my mind. My husband,
Yes.
he died in gun. There's someone shoot in Kamfan church, 8 of night.
This was a picture of her husband who had died, and it was the only one she had. And my husband died, and I have lots of pictures of him. And he was also a minister, like her husband. So I know how precious those photos are to me and my children. So I should have thought about this before I gave it to her, and I wrapped it up and she took it and I said, Martha, I have something for you. And she opened it up. And when she saw the face of her husband, life-size, the look on her face, she just took the photo and she kissed it and kissed it and kissed it and cried. And I was just blown over by it. I realise now that not only do they leave their everything, they have very few precious things to bring, and they don't have many photos.
From what I hear, it was pretty scary, and the journey was God's will because we nearly died and everything. So I guess it's a journey across a bridge from Kakuma to the airport because there's a bridge and there's people who hide under the bridge, so they know if you're going to go over the bridge to the airport, you must have money and stuff with you. If they see a car coming, they'll ambush you. And our driver decided that he didn't want to stop, so he kept going, and they just kept shooting at our van. And lucky it just went straight past my dad and my brother, and we made it through.
You can never really understand what they went through. One time I was in Ajang's home, and he didn't have his shirt on. And I asked him what the scars were, and he showed me bullet holes. They're scars left by bullet holes. Because when he was escaping from the northern Sudanese and the militia, once the car he was in was ambushed, everybody was killed except him, but they thought he was dead. But he was just left there to die, and he only survived because a good friend came back looking for him when he didn't arrive and found him alive and somehow got medical help for him. But otherwise he would have...
The incredibly thankful and positive attitude that they have to life and their amazing trust in God when some of the things that you learn about them, their stories, their life, even their circumstances, even though it was so blessed in Australian society when we met them, they were still struggling compared to many other middle-class, affluent people around them in the Sutherland Shire. I never heard anybody say, but why me, or God's unfair, or want to blame God for any of the bad things that had happened to them, or their family members who they'd been separated from or seen murdered.
And we all thought she was a new arrival because she wouldn't speak, and she now laughs and says, I got you, didn't I? But she was so traumatised she did not speak, wasn't trusting of anybody, and even when she did start to speak, she had no ambition. So it was really thrilling last year when she asked me could I help her fill out the forms for enrolled nursing. She's done it. She's succeeded. She's got over those hurdles with the language, with her self-esteem, I think, and feeling safe enough to try. So that was one I'll never forget. She would be about 18 now, and so she's talking about when she was in...
Because their needs were so different, instead of running it here at the college, we thought it'd be really good to have it run off campus so that we could have a more safe, secure environment for them. Because we were dealing with a group of people that had come from severe trauma. You know, trauma that many of us growing up here in the beautiful Sutherland Shire just had no concept, no idea of. And the more and more I sort of got to know this group, you realise, wow, this was... They very quickly become just Aussie kids and want to do and have exactly what other Aussie kids do and have.
I was visiting one of the families and they lived closer. I don't know why I was there. I can't remember. I noticed there was a young high school student who'd come home with them from school, and she was sitting there. And life was going on, you know, some were cooking, some were plaiting hair or doing some homework, and the mum, everybody was sitting around together like a family. And I thought to myself, this young girl likes being here. I wonder if she likes it because she misses this. This is something she values, this family, closeness with everyone just sitting together and being together, enjoying being together, working together.
There is one incident I can recall that came after the riots and came from a group outside, a very right-wing political group, who actually came onto our church property and posted some dreadfully racist posters. Absolutely terrible. Now, they were confronted by a number of our own white members, Sunday school teachers, who told them what they thought in no uncertain terms of this racist behaviour that they were carrying on with. And I think verbally sent them with their tails between their legs, and we never saw them again.
Integration is a process. People have to understand that it's not like drinking water. No, it's a process. You go to school, you study, you learn until you become part of that society. The Southern Sudanese at the moment, they are mostly integrated. You find them now. We have 10 to 15 graduates every year. We have doctors at the moment. And before that, we don't have even one nurse. We have doctors, we have nurses. We have people now working in the banks.
But the other side of the coin is that the Sudanese community has been really wonderful to us. They frequently fill us in on updates in what's happening in their community. They provide support to their young people, and they actively participate in community forums specifically regarding young people and trying to support young people locally, not just the Sudanese young population. They've been really active community members, and we really have appreciated their input into our community. It's not just what we can do for them. They've just really taken hold of the notion of community and jumped in and really contributed to everything.
The reason they move, it's purely to do with accommodation and the cost of accommodation. We're in a housing crisis. There's limited rental accommodation. So, of course, rents are going up, and the ability to be able to actually financially survive on paying a high rent, also feeding families and doing all the things that one needs to do to survive is quite difficult here.
It's going to be a new country or a new nation. We feel a lot. We receive what our fathers started, and we got on it. But it's difficult because it's a lot of challenges. So we need to, especially on the Sudanese, our side, Sudan, what we learn here from Australia, we need to help people in back home, because this new nation is not something easy to establish a new nation. So we need a lot of help on this.
Many people made this project a reality, especially Sudanese people in the Sutherland Shire. Listen to more on the websites